Okay, here we go. The Ben and Mikey Show.
He's about to get crazy and wild. Stay for a while. Don't touch your radio dial.
Ben and Mikey Show.
Kicking it back, sports talk. Listen to that and stay tuned for some giggles and laughs. Go.
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
Welcome to the Planet Mikey Show.
Now that's funny. Who is that?
That's the guy from Office Space.
Now that's funny.
Yeah.
You know what I do when stuff's funny? I go.
I'd like to apologize for the behavior of our host.
Right, that's right before I throw up. It's Planet Mikey episode 2farty1 because last episode was too farty, and we had all those farts going on, and that's not good. So this is 2farty1, and the Planet Mikey, what's it called? A catalog, I guess, of Planet Mikey podcast. We're brought to you by the great and professional folks at Pro Automotive of Webster and Dudley, where they have certified mechanics who know exactly what they're doing. And very nice people. If you want to visit them, go to their website, proautomotivema.com. They're on Oxford Avenue, Dudley, South Main Street, Webster, and 8 Englewood Street in Webster as well. And guess what? Just because you guys are special, we have insider information regarding the automotive repair industry, starring the owner of Pro Automotive and the head mechanic over there, the certified guy, the go-to guy, Jason Rousseau, on the phone right now to answer your individual question about your car repair. How's that? Jason, are you there?
I'm here.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, buddy? How you been?
Well, you know, pretty good. I had a wisdom tooth out, and now I'm stupid.
Oh, no. I got to go get one of those done, too.
Oh, that sucks, man. Be ready for it. But I lost all the wisdom that I've accrued during my 247 years on this earth. And as you know, I know nothing about fixing cars, but thankfully you do.
We do.
Yeah, and that's why we're... By the way, I have my car's coming in tomorrow night. I'm dropping it off in the key drop. It's my wife's Mazda SUV CX-5, and it's running fine, except that when you get on the highway, it makes a lot of noise. Once you're over 40 or 45 miles an hour, it gets almost too noisy to listen to the radio. What the hell could that be?
Could be a lot of things that, Mike. It could be as simple as a bad tire, or more costly as a bearing somewhere. Or we'll have to get in there and
Mess
do
around.
some diagnosing and testing and determine what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to drop it there and leave it, and then I'm going to drive her to work, and then next day I'm going to have my son, who got his license, take me back to pick it up, because I'm not going to take my cars for repairs anywhere else, because I'm loyal and you guys are good. Now, Smitty has a question.
Yeah, I do. Hey, Jason, I went to use my horn the other day, and it didn't work. But I noticed as I was turning to the left, it beeped. Turning to the right, it beeped. But straight ahead, it did not. What could cause it? It's a 2010 RAV4.
2010 RAV4. You have an airbag light on?
Yeah. No.
No?
Well, no.
airbag.
The light's
Okay,
not on. No.
There's a what they call a clock spring.
Yeah.
Inside the steering wheel that makes the connection between the horn button and the horn. And sometimes when those go bad,
they go real bad.
You'll get that symptom.
He's been beeping at ugly girls, Jason, with it by mistake. Every time he takes a left, somebody beeps at somebody. That's awful, man.
Maybe he wanted to do that. Maybe we should leave it.
He is horny.
So here's question number 2. Follow-up question: is this an expensive repair, Jason?
No, not usually.
Did they just pop the thing off, replace the spring? Or?
Why don't you get one of those ones that they have in the crazy neighborhoods where it goes or something like that? Why don't you get a new horn? You put in new horns, Jason?
We'd love to put in new horns.
That'd be great. Now, Ben has a question for you, too, because, you see, while we get him on the phone, we take advantage of his knowledge right now.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to monopolize this time. So my car is a 2014 Ford Explorer. It's about like 194,000 miles, about to hit 200,000 miles. And years ago, it was always like 200,000 is kind of that's the dead zone. Don't go after that. Now, it feels like they can go much further, but I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. So can these cars last much longer than 200,000 miles if they're properly maintained?
Yeah. What do you watch?
Absolutely. We had a few of our courtesy cars. There were some Hondas and Toyotas that had almost 500,000 miles on them.
Wow.
Whoa. Hey.
And they just simple maintenance. Cheap, simple maintenance will go a long way.
Like oil changes and filter changes.
Oil changes, tires, brakes,
Right.
fuel filters, air filters, simple stuff. Fluid services on the transmission.
Yeah, fluids.
When we recommend it, it's just because we want to make it last.
Yeah, it's like you got to hydrate when you're a human being, or especially an old one like me. My wife always says, you got to hydrate. Well, you got to hydrate your car, too, with the proper fluid. Hey, let me ask you this. You've been doing this for a long time. Give me the three, maybe the 2 or 3, whatever you can think of, best cars as far as not needing repairs. In other words, the most reliable cars that you service on a regular basis. What brand?
Honda, Toyota, and Kia has got up there in the past few years.
If they don't get stolen. Right? You see that the Chicago mayor's trying to sue Kia for making a car that's stealable? Yeah. I mean, really? Why don't you take the thieves off the street instead? Maybe that's a better way of dealing with it. That's great. Well, we want to thank you for stopping by and saying hello, and I'll see you in a couple of days when I'm there to pick up my car. I'll look forward to seeing you, Jason Rousseau, from Pro Automotive. ProAutomotiveMA.com is the website, and as always, I tell you that he's the best, the very best. Have a good night,
Thank
man.
you. Take care.
See you, Jason. So I'm gonna get rid of that noise factor because it's driving my wife crazy.
He said the one thing that that happened to my car once, and it made a sound that the faster you went, the louder it got.
Yeah.
It was a wheel bearing. And it goes, Is that what it does?
Well, we're going to find. Well, it's just noisy around you. You can't really tell where it's coming from when you're in the car driving. But once you get up to around 50.
Is it a hum?
Yeah, it's like it's an annoying background noise. It doesn't make you want to kill yourself or anything.
I'll bet it's that wheel bearing, Mike.
So it reminds me.
It's all ball bearings these days.
I've never told you this. This old guy's driving down the street, and all of a sudden a cop pulls him over.
Yeah.
The old guy's like, "Oh, what the hell?" And the cop walks up to the window and he says, "Sir, I don't know if you know this, but your wife fell out of the car about 3 miles ago. She's laying by the side of the road." The guy goes, "Oh, thank God! I thought I was going deaf."
Oh man.
Okay, so it's the Planet Mikey podcast 240, right? 240?
241.
Also brought to you by Giacomo's. I forgot to tell, I forgot to tell Jason, I'm going to send a cake over there. Those ladies that work in his front office and Jason, they love my grandma's coffee cake. So I'm going to send one because all guests on the show get a cake if they want one.
Nobody doesn't like my grandma's cake.
Don't forget to use the promo code Mikey5. Get $5 off on any cake you buy at mygrandma.com. Or call 1-800-8-GRANDMA.
Ben, did you notice Mike didn't bring a cake for you and me?
You guys want one?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm
I
gonna do.
noticed he didn't bring gifts,
Yeah.
but you did.
I'm going to do
correct.
this for you. Smitty, when's your 60th birthday? I'm going to get you one. And
1981.
When's your bar mitzvah again? I got to tell you information.
1991.
My grandma's coffee cake, the greatest coffee cake in the world. Now that we've done all the attention we can possibly do on commercial accounts, I want to tell you guys that we're going to have Bill Lee on this podcast shortly. When it gets close to like 5:30?
Yeah.
He's on the radio right now in Montreal, doing an appearance on the Mitch Melnick Show, which is one of the great Montreal radio shows. It's like the Big Show used to be. By the way, you see I'm wearing the WEEI 850 shirt?
Yes.
You know why?
AM radio.
Because that's where I'm going to end up, AM radio.
Really? You're going to go there?
Yeah, of course. Once I learn Portuguese, I'm going to be hosting a Portuguese dance show. I'll tell you about that down the road as soon as I get all the details. Yeah, they're going to give me cash and trade.
Ooh.
Yep,
I like AM radio
trade.
because it fades under bridges like it's like a safety thing.
Gives you a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
And
break.
It also will let you know when there's a storm coming, that static, when there's lightning.
So Bill Lee's going to join us in a few minutes. Tell us about his latest episode. He collapsed again. He's pushing his luck. He told me he's always wanted to die on the mound, but he was in center field at the Woo Sox game, so it didn't work out.
They're not going to let him die on the mound now.
Well,
They should have done it already.
This is going to be fun talking to him. He's got some unbelievable stories, and I got a couple of stories for him. But first, before we get to Bill, I thought I would give you guys the news.
You have the news?
The news. We're going to let Ben do a story.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like, the intern gets to come out and do this.
I have a story.
The thing is, Ben is a good broadcaster. He just hasn't had the opportunity. If somebody would put him on the air, he'd be a star.
Yeah, I agree.
But, no, they keep him in the background doing because he's good at producing, too.
Yeah.
So...
Not everybody can say that's on the
Now,
air.
Bill Smith, of course, is a legend in the radio market of Boston. Name 4 stations you've worked at. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell everybody.
WBZ.
WBZ Boston.
WCOZ.
WCOZ Boston.
WEEI-FM.
WEEI-FM Boston.
WRKO.
WRKO.
Imagine that.
I used to love when they do it that way. They call it
WZLX.
some stations.
How could I forget?
They go.
How did you forget?
Like in New York, they say WNBC, but
They forgot
at
me.
RKO, they always had when they played music, WRKO, and they went down. WRKO.
That's a definitive statement. That's when you want to hammer it home.
Tremendous reputation they had there. So anyway, here's the news.
News.
Milford, Massachusetts. 2 people are facing charges after police said they ran a large-scale illegal gambling ring centered around backyard volleyball matches at their Milford home. Now, Milford is now, I'd say, 75% Central Americans.
Yeah.
So it's interesting what's going on down there now. I didn't know volleyball could have a thing like that, but they had one. And Luis Loja Caguana is charged with...
Good guy.
Charged with keeper of a disorderly home. Is that a crime?
That's a crime?
Gaming or betting and place for registering bets. Zoila Castro is facing a charge of selling liquor.
Oh.
This is all on the premises.
Zoila, come on.
He allegedly collected and placed bets. Well, police said he paved over, Loja Caguana paved over his entire backyard and turned it into 2 full-size volleyball courts. Then he collected and placed bets during matches. So he had all going. And there was a concession stand there run by the other guy.
You know what? I'll bet that was so much fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Milford police said the prize money would be in the thousands of dollars. According to the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, police seized about $10,000 in cash during the arrests. So they were doing pretty well with his volleyball shit.
Yeah. Who was getting hurt?
Well, maybe some of the players, you don't know. Are they bonded?
No, I mean, it's kind of a weird crime, though. What's that? Illegal betting? Is that what that's called?
Zoila Castro allegedly ran a full-size concession stand selling alcohol illegally and without permits.
Oh, jeez.
And you could get merch there, too.
He's selling beer.
Neighborhood merch.
This guy sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, at least he's doing something. Now, my question is he an illegal alien and is he paying taxes on all this revenue? That's what I want to know. All right, here's another one from Canada.
Yes and no.
Stand by. Ben's story is coming up. Security escorted 2 Air Canada passengers off of a plane after they refused to sit in a seat someone had vomited on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can understand that.
According to a woman who said she was seated in the row behind them. So this report came from the lady behind the person who didn't want to sit on the... August 29th Facebook post, passenger Susan Benson said she watched 2 women and a man struggle to get seated on a flight from Vegas to Montreal. She wrote in her post that she noticed a bit of a foul smell but hadn't realized where it was coming from yet. She said she soon learns from someone that someone had thrown up on the previous flight. Oof. Now, I mean, you don't know what the person sitting in front of you, they could have poopy pants, they could be just B.O., they could have, what did Pete Shepard have when he was in the summer?
What did he have?
Smell ass or whatever. Anyway, you don't know. But Air Canada attempted a quick cleanup before boarding, but clearly they were not able to do a thorough clean. They placed coffee grinds in the seat pouch to try to mask the puke smell and sprayed perfume. Neither Benson nor Air Canada responded to a request for a comment from the insider who wrote this article. I should always credit them, huh? Just in case people think I made it up.
Did you see this one from yesterday?
What's that?
Delta flight forced into emergency landing by passengers' diarrhea.
See what I'm saying? This is people losing control.
I mean, this happened to...
So
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, there's no rush here. We got millions of hours.
This happened to us coming back from the Super Bowl. It was myself, Rich Keefe, Michael Hawley, and Dale. And we were coming back from the Super Bowl, and our plane was delayed by like 3 hours because someone had puked all over the aisle, and they had to. It just reeked.
Everybody
the
on
entire
that plane would have
reeked.
killed that person if they knew. Because 3 hours waiting on a. The flight attendant. Okay, what happened was the lady said, "We're not going to sit there." You know, they said we can't be expected to sit and vomit for 5 hours on a flight.
I agree.
So the flight attendant returned with a supervisor who told the passengers the same thing. The flight was full; they had nowhere else to sit. Eventually, the lady reporting this continued. The employees gave them blankets to sit on and more wipes to clean their seats with.
Oh, God. You know, you sit on that seat, and all of a sudden your ass gets warm, then the seat gets warm, and that lovely aroma returns.
So they agreed to sit on with all that stuff, you know, the wipes and the whatever. The pilot came down the aisle and very calmly knelt down and told the two ladies they had two choices. They could leave the plane on their own accord and organize flights on their own, or they would be escorted off the plane by security and placed on a no-fly list. So here's your choice. You can get off the plane or you can get off the fucking plane. Okay, well, thank you. I just sat down in the puke and you wasted it. You know, they wasted all that goodwill. Anyway, the passenger seated next to the two women got involved, told the pilot that they were not being rude to the flight attendant. The pilot reportedly returned to the front of the plane, and the security guards came and took the women off the plane.
Oh, man.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
And now today, you got United Airlines shutting down with the ground stop all their flights. And what's going on? And what's up with Pete Buttigieg? By the way, did you hear that Biden called him Pete Booty Juice?
Pete Booty Juice, yeah.
In what world do you get away with that?
I know.
Oh, that's just his nickname. You didn't know that?
Pete Booty Juice. He should have a show now. The Pete Booty Juice Show. And don't make any nasty cracks. It's time now for Ben Kitchen and his story. Ben, you're
If you
next.
thought beauty was in the eye of the beer holder, think again. Scientists have poured cold water, or rather vodka, on the existence of beer goggles. The idea that alcohol makes other people appear better looking. However, it may arm you with the, quote, liquid courage to approach attractive people, the research suggests. So there was this research, I guess, at the Stanford Prevention Center in Palo Alto, California, and it's saying that beer goggles is not a thing. And I think, you know, combined, we're about 640 years old, so we have a long time to kind of go back through our memory and remember those times we got drunk.
Cull the memories.
And then we woke up with something.
Oh, my God. Yes.
We said, what the hell was that?
Well, you know, it's the old, she was a 2 at 10 and a 10 at 2 thing. You know, beer goggles. That's the expression that goes along with it. And I'm a full believer in it, and that and roofies.
You're a full believer in roofies?
I'm just kidding. If you want to get your way in a bar and it's late at night, you know, you better have a game going on. You know, it's like if you want to eat at 7-Eleven at 2 a.m., you're going to pony up the dough and you're going to get sick.
Well, you always say, like, alcohol brings the truth or the true you out. And all it does is, it's not beer goggles isn't a thing. It's more like people's standards are a lot different in reality than what they want to present to the world.
And just because,
that's the reality of it.
Just because she's had 10 beers doesn't mean that, do you want to see my dick is a good pickup line. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It just doesn't work that way.
Thank you.
Another news story. You ready?
News.
I love news. A convicted sexual predator is representing himself behind bars in a civil lawsuit lodged against a condiment company. Sounds weird already. It's a suit for the condiment company for false and deceptive advertising and breach of duty of care regarding the labeling of their mustard products. Okay, you ready for this?
Did it make him breach his duty?
He's suing a mustard company for mislabeling what's in the mustard. You ready?
Oh.
David Lettieri, incarcerated at a Northeast Ohio Correctional Center, claims that although ingredients are shown on the mustard packet produced by 4-in-1, there's insufficient nutritional information for customers, misspelled, to determine the calories and carbohydrates in the product. He's seeking $450,000 in damages over this mustard pack.
I'll bet he gets it.
Now, he's awaiting sentencing. Get this. This guy's a total freak. Why? What was his crime? Enticement of a minor, a charge that carries a mandatory minimum penalty of 10 years. He was arrested October 2020. He traveled nearly 200 miles to meet a 13-year-old for sex in a park, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. The listed ingredients on the salad fresh 4-in-1 mustard are distilled vinegar, mustard seed, salt, turmeric, paprika, spices, and flavoring. Now, he's uncertain of what these spices and flavoring are. So he's suing the mustard company while in jail for being a perverted creep for $450,000.
How about he gets it? Some lawyer's going to come out and defend him, and
They'll settle for like $100,000 just to shut it up and close it down and make it
The
go.
guy's now 36. He traveled from his home in Harpersville, New York, to the town of Bliss in Wyoming County, New York, with the intent of having sexual intercourse with a minor. He told agents he knew the victim and her age, and he admitted to communicating, but he said he was just trying to be a good Samaritan and talk some sense into her. He was going to have a little mustard talk with her.
hey, I have a story.
A story.
I have a story.
A news story from Bill Smith. And now, here's Bill Smith with the news.
California Democrats have proposed a bill, 553, which makes it illegal to confront or fight back against looters, burglars, and shoplifters. You'll be fined $20,000 if you attempt to stop these crimes. It puts every business at the mercy of criminals.
Well, yeah.
That's a true story.
Well, you know, I loved what Ron DeSantis said, which was, you loot, we shoot.
Yeah, bingo.
I mean, that's like, okay. You know, maybe
I didn't do it. Maybe I did. I did.
my mic's off.
Sorry.
You cut me off.
I slipped the slip of the little finger there.
You loot, we shoot.
I
It
have-
should be like the new bumper sticker, because when you have a tragic hurricane where there's loss of life and loss of property, and someone's going to come running through and take all your valuable stuff while you're out trying to save yourself from drowning, then what do you do to protect your home? And
Don't loot, they won't shoot.
it's that simple, isn't it? So we got Bill Lee. Well, maybe we should give Bill Lee a call. It's about 5:26 here Eastern Time as we record this podcast.
Let me get to the phone.
What is today? The 5th of September.
Septiembre.
So you know whose birthday it is?
A day I'll always remember.
Do you remember?
It's,
every 5th of September.
Bob Newhart's birthday.
Is it Bob Newhart's birthday? Seriously?
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with that?
I saw it earlier today.
Wow. And you remembered?
I did.
Bill Mazeroski's birthday.
Oh.
I want to mention him to Bill. I don't know if Bill ever played against Bill Mazeroski, but Bill Mazeroski is still alive, and he's 87. Raquel Welch would have been 83 today, but she died.
Bob Newhart's 94. Michael Keaton's 72 today.
God, he's older than me.
Bill Lee might be talking to that guy
Funnier,
in Detroit.
too.
Yeah, still? You think? Oh, we'll try. We can try him back.
Montreal.
We'll try him back. Hey, Detroit. Oh, wait, here's his message.
Hey, Putin, I give you permission to ship your grain. You have to do the same for the Ukraines. And your languages are all the same except for one consonant or whatever that Cyrillic shit is. Anyway, get over it.
Well, he's got a message for Putin on his answering machine.
Well, yeah, I'm sure,
Well, he's probably still on that interview.
Vlad gives him a call every now and then.
So, Bill Mazeroski, why do I mention him? Not because he's Polish. Some of my best friends are Polish, by the way.
Yeah.
William Stanley Mazeroski, born on this date, 1936. So he's 87 years old today, and he's still with us. He was known as Maz. He did a show with Felger.
Oh.
It was Felger and Maz.
It sounds great then.
He was also known as the Glove. Now, why was he? I better get my glasses for this. This is important data.
Go ahead, Mike.
First of all, he was. If you don't know, it's before your time. He was a second baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates for so many years, from 1950s. From 1956 to 72.
That's 17 years, Mike.
Almost. He was a 7-time All-Star, and he was known for his spectacular defensive play. In fact, he was so good defensively that he held the record for the most double plays turned by involved in the most double plays by anybody aside from first baseman. And his record was broken by Omar Vizquel in 2009. But till then, he was the all-time double play king because he could turn it at second base at the Keystone Sack, as Joe Castiglione might say. But he's better known for his dramatic walk-off home run in Game 7 of the World Series, the Pirates against the Yankees. The Yankees were clearly a better team, but Bill Mazeroski, they came out of nowhere, and it was like the Cinderella story. And he hit a home run to win the game in a walk-off fashion, and it was that which was voted one of the top 8 moments of sports history for drama. Bill Mazeroski. In fact, it's the only walk-off home run to clinch a World Series in Game 7 ever in the how many World Series have there been? Been 100 and something.
Yeah, there's only like 3, I think, total World Series-ending home runs. Joe Carter with the Blue Jays. There was another one. I can't remember the other one.
Right. They're very few. Very, very few. I mean, we've had some moments with Big Papi, but this was one that won the World Series. Is back in when they played day games, and it was the Yankees and the Pittsburgh Pirates at Forbes Field, a very tough park to hit home runs in, especially to left field.
The crazy thing about that series is the Yankees would blow out the Pirates in games, and then the Pirates would win by 1.
By 1.
The Yankees outscored the Pirates in the series 55-27.
Wow. Unbelievable. But the timing. Timing is everything. Ask me the key to being a great comedian.
What is the key to being
timing? Now. Also coming up, coming up in birthdays this week. But I'm looking at the camera because we're on YouTube now.
Yep.
So I should really stand up and shoot a rocket.
Why don't you show off your new cup?
Oh, I thought you meant this one.
No, not that one.
That's extra large.
God forbid, no, Mike.
I got a new cup. Now here's what happened. Smitty's really great. It's like at Christmas. You can't believe when you get your package from Smitty, you've gotten something good. This is something I'm going to hold up to the camera right now. Where's the camera?
Look at that. The commemorative Mikey,
Planet
Planet Mikey podcast cup.
It's the Planet Mikey Cup. Now, are these available? Can they contact us and buy one of these for like $4,700 each?
You and Ben have one. They're 2 of a kind. That's it. In the whole world.
Now, that's good. I'm going to show people. So what do you do for work? I'm going to go, well, not much. I do a little podcast once in a while.
And you'll notice whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you'll see that beautiful mug.
And we have cups. Thanks, Smitty, for the cup.
That's correct.
I wanted to mention Roger Maris, also these old guys. Now, everybody knows Roger Maris held the record for home runs, 61 home runs. He did it in 1961. He's dead. He died at the age of 51 some years ago. He's not been with us for a long time, but we heard about him over and over again, and his family came up when McGuire and Sosa were fighting over breaking his record. So they cheated. They were on steroids. Now, Roger Maris, he didn't cheat, but he had some distinct advantages to get those 61 home runs. First of all, he batted next to Mickey Mantle in the lineup, so they couldn't walk Mantle. So he saw a lot of good pitches, A. B, it was only 296 feet down the right field line at Yankee Stadium, notoriously short porch in right field, and he was a dead pull hitter, so he whacked a lot of those 310-foot home runs to right field. Again, all due respect for Roger Maris, because he was notoriously a good person. But the other thing that happened was it was the expansion year. So every single team, they added 2 teams to the American League, and those teams were made up of 20 pitchers who would be in the minors if they weren't drafted for the expansion draft. So there's 20 new, inexperienced, lousy pitchers in the league, and he ate those guys up, at Yankee
Houston
Stadium.
Colt 45s.
Well, that's National League offering, but they had the new Senators.
Okay.
Yeah, who we play. And the Twins, the Twins were the Senators. They moved to Minnesota, and then they had a new Senators team, which is basically an expansion team. But anyway, so Roger Maris hit 61, but again, with all due respect, it's a tainted number because of all those things. And the other thing is, Babe Ruth's record was 60 home runs, and it stood forever until Maris broke it. But he played in an era they only played 154 games, Babe Ruth, and then they went to 162 games starting the year Roger Maris broke the record. So he had 8 more games in which to do it. And guess which game he hit the record breaker? Game 162.
Hold on. How many games did it take for Babe Ruth to achieve that record?
154.
All right, and 154 games with Roger Maris. What was his standing then?
Oh, he was short 2 or 3 home
well,
runs.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's how they should measure.
But they don't.
No.
And they say the all-time record for one season, 61.
Well,
Roger
they
Maris.
did, and that's why they put an asterisk next to
Exactly.
it for
Yes.
That's how that works in the
40
world of
years.
sports.
Yeah.
And asterisk, isn't that used to have that as your picture on Facebook? But or was that was your balloon knot, wasn't it? It wasn't an asterisk.
The starfish.
It was a chocolate star.
So gross.
So anyway, more about Roger Maris tribute. Then we'll call Bill. We'll try to get Bill on the phone again. Roger Maris, born in 1934 on the 10th of September, which is coming up, in Hibbing, Minnesota. Now, have we discussed Hibbing?
Yes, we have.
Okay, then let's see how your total recall is.
I can
Name
think of-
4 people who are famous, 5 if you can, who from Hibbing, Minnesota.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Yep.
Robert Zimmerman.
Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale. That's 2.
Bingo.
They're both born in Hibbing, Minnesota, along with Roger Maris.
Gino Cappelletti.
Gino Cappelletti,
Yeah.
Patriots quarterback, Patriots all-around guy.
Yep.
Well, he was actually born in Keewatin, which is the next town over, but it's Greater Hibbing.
It's Hibbing. Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else? Vincent Bugliosi. He's the prosecutor
Yeah,
of
the attorney.
Charles Manson. Gary Puckett, lead singer for the Union Gap. Young girl, get out of my Clyde. Remember that one? And then there's a guy named, a politician also born in Hibbing, very famous in Minnesota. His name is Ron Dicklich.
Ron Dicklich.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
Dicklich. Ron Dicklich. Now, if you're running, if you see a sign on someone's yard that says "Vote Dicklich," would you call the cops or would you laugh?
I don't know. That's
Roger Maris.
So, famous porn director Chi LaRue.
Don't know anything about him. Don't know anything
I
about
think it's a her.
So or her. She shows you how much I don't know about him. See. All right, so that's. Let's call Bill again. Let's see if he's answering the phone now. He told me 5:30. I guess is it 5:30? It's 5:35.
hold on.
Good God, we're late. I wonder what time it is up in Vermont.
Now, Mike, let me explain to you how time zones work.
Try Bill Lee one more time. Yeah.
It goes to his voicemail.
It's Freddie Mercury's
might have
birthday,
to call,
too.
We might have to call the EMTs and send him up to his house.
Or call Vladimir.
Bill's had several unusual episodes lately. Maybe you should call his cell phone.
I have that number right here. Oh, here he goes.
Here we go again.
Yeah, never mind.
Answering machine again. All right.
So I'll call the cell.
Oh, you can try the cell phone, sure. I mean, I don't know. Diana probably answered because I don't know what he's doing though. He told me 5:30. He called me back. He said, "Make it 5:30." I said, "Okay."
It's also the birthday for Dweezil Zappa.
Oh, we like Dweezil.
Right. Yeah, Dweezil's Frank Zappa's kid.
One of his many.
Yep. Remember the poster that had the
I'm sorry,
fraternity?
but the person you called
No.
has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
See that? All right. Well, we'll try one more time before.
All right.
I got more things here because we got to get going here.
It's also the birthday of Rod Barajas.
We pay Rod Barajas. We pay by the hour for this studio. If we go over an hour, the guy that owns it charges us double.
Real
Yep.
dick.
Yeah,
I
and
know
he,
that guy.
and he deserves it, though.
He's
You
a
got to have
real
constrictions and limitations on studio time. I don't know if you noticed, but Maura Healey, who's our governor, is it governor or governess?
Governor.
Governor, right?
Yeah.
She has called out the National Guard. 250 National Guardsmen have been prompted into duty by the governor.
Really?
Why? Immigration crisis. We've got too many people.
Not enough people coming in?
They're they're all over the place. There was a big protest on Cape Cod today.
I thought
Down in-
Massachusetts was a sanctuary state, according to these Democrats.
Well, that's what they say, but then once people start coming here and there's too many of them, then all of a sudden they don't want to be a sanctuary state. There was a big demonstration in front of the Yarmouth Resort because they're putting these people in hotels because you know that Massachusetts has the right to shelter, unique to this state and New York City, where you come here and you get if you're a family or if you've got kids or if you're just a bum, they'll put you in a hotel.
Just a bum.
Now, think about this. Let's say you own a nice hotel. Let's say in Yarmouth or somewhere else. And all of a sudden, the state comes and says, well, we got these 50 people. They're going to come in here, and we're going to pay for the rooms. They're going to, by the way, the other 50, which you don't have room for, are going to stay on cardboard boxes out in front of your hotel. So your hotel's going to be littered with people who, A, don't speak English, B, you don't know when the last time was they had a shower or inoculation against any kind of disease. Mm-hmm. They're all just going to come in here, and we're going to pay you. And how many customers are going to want to come to that hotel? How many people are going to say, you know what, I want to go to the one where all the people are?
All the illegals. Because, well, we're not racist. We're not xenophobes. No, we want to prove that we're really decent people.
But the fact of the matter is they can take over your business if you're a hotel owner and say, okay, you're going to be invaded by these people, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
So that's what's going on. Meanwhile, we're worried about these thousands of people that we can't handle in Massachusetts, or Maura Healey is. And in August, there were 177,000 people that crossed into this. 177,000. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to live is the question. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
They just don't want to admit that closing the border is the right thing to do. They just don't want to admit that. They have another plan, apparently. They're trying to grow all these new voters.
Yeah, well, that's part of it, and the other thing is they want to be able to say, look, we're the humane party. We're the party that we welcome people into America. Give me you're tired, you're poor. But, I think the idea already America welcomes over 1.3 million people a year legally to come into the country.
And legally is the key word.
Well, in the 2 years of the Biden administration, he's not welcomed, but it allowed 8 million people to come in, 6 times the average annual allowance for new immigrants to this country. 8 million folks, and where are they? They're gone. We don't know who they are.
Don't know where
we don't know where they're going to live, how they're going to get money, where they're going to.
They have diseases. Were they in jail?
It's just frightening. It's a really, really scary situation because it's out of control. And Maura Healey's saying that the FEMA has to cough up $1.9 million for Massachusetts to deal with this crisis. But that's just a drop in the bucket compared to what every other state in America is going to be asking for. I mean, how many people are going? Illinois, New York. New York's got a huge problem, and everybody's ignoring it. And it's very, very scary right now because there's no control. There's no control. They're not doing anything different to stop what's going on at the border. It's just it's amazing. Anyway, what if we took 8 million people and said, okay, we're going to invade Tijuana? What would that do?
There'd be a lot less donkey shows.
Yeah. I went to one of those donkey shows once.
Do you want to join me?
When I was 18 years, I was 18. First, I had just joined the Navy. We were in San Diego, and they wanted to go down to Tijuana. TJ, let's go to TJ, man. You ever been to TJ? So we went down there. And
who said that?
Some friends of mine. They had been there several times. And I got to tell you.
Do you want to come with me?
Here I was thinking I'm the coolest guy until I get into the Navy, and I see what really goes on in the world.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
So tell us about this donkey show.
Well, it was a place called the Wooden Nickel. It's I have to keep it clean.
Did they call them burros?
Burros. Yep. You walked in.
You want to pay to see a burro?
Yeah. You were given a wooden nickel with a number on it.
Yo toco la guitarra, pero yo amo mi burro. All right, two things. We should try Bill one more time. It's the first time he's been on this podcast 10 times. First time he's ever not answered. That's why I'm worried. He collapsed at the Woo Sox game again. They had to bring him to the UMass Memorial Hospital, and he had to have a procedure of some sort. So I want to get the update on that, but he's not answering his phone, which makes me want to send an ambulance to his house in Craftsbury.
Like do a wellness check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure he's okay, because he always answers the phone.
Okay, trying again.
One more time.
He'll pick up this time. He will.
How do you know?
I just get that feeling. It's that Mercury retrograde thing, yeah.
I don't know. He might have just... This isn't good.
He's probably still talking to that guy and having a good time.
You can't talk to that guy for an hour. All right, forget it. Forget it. No, you know.
Hey, Putin, I give you.
That's the last time I send him my best edibles. Okay, so Bill Lee, I was going to mention to him about Joe Rudy because Joe Rudy's birthday's coming up. You know how well Bill did against Joe Rudy in his lifetime?
I don't.
Take a guess.
I don't.
What do you think his Joe Rudy's lifetime batting average against junk-balling spaceman?
172.
276.
Did you hear what he just said?
172.
4 for 23, 174.
Wow.
Oh, Benny.
Good
Ben.
guess.
Oh, God.
And I didn't even price his right go over.
And Bill, I was going to talk to Bill about that, and he didn't. He's not answering his phone, but that does worry me. Or maybe I'll drive up there. It's only 3.5 hours.
We'll go with you.
I'll drive up there. Meanwhile,
I'm not.
do you guys want to set a world record?
Yeah,
a Guinness Book of World Records to close out our show tonight.
Always.
Sure.
First of all, thanks for the mug.
You're welcome.
I'm going to mug for the camera.
It's my pleasure.
Is that your mugshot?
See, I told you he should have his own radio
The
show.
mug shot. That's
Getting
perfect.
good.
In Des Moines.
Getting good.
In Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, Des Moines.
On weekends.
Hi, I'm Ben Kitchen here in Des Moines.
between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
No, I'm not going to Illinois.
Oh,
Don't you hate when people say Illinois? Don't you want to just step up and slap them in the face?
Especially when they're from there.
God! We're going to break the all-time record. Well, we're not we, but Joe and Jerry are. We as a podcast. We're going to go in the Guinness Book of World Records for having a song with the most screamed mentions of the word douche ever. Joe, Jerry? Blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light, Joe. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Here we go. World record. Madman drummers, bummers, Indians in the summer with a teenage diplomat. In the dumps with the mumps as the adolescent pumps his way into his hat. That's gross. With a boulder on my shoulder, feeling kind of older, I tripped the merry-go-round. With this very unpleasing, sneezing and wheezing, the calliope crashed to the ground. That's Shaw's! Play your licks, Joe. You fraud. That's me playing. The calliope crashed to the ground. She was blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. It's kind of repetitive. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Some silicone sister with her manager, mister, told me I got what it takes. She said, I'll turn you on, Sonny, to something strong. Play the song with the funky break. Go-kart Mozart was checking out the weather chart to see if it was safe outside. And little Early Pearly came by in his curly-whirly, asked me if I needed a ride. I don't know what any of that means, Joe. What's a pearly-curly, for Christ's sake? I should read a book. Curly-curly. The calliope crashed to the ground, and she was blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded, Joe, by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. I'm getting tired of this. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Get Tion in here. Blinded by the light. He rev up like a douche. Another runner in the night. He's blinded by the light. He revved up like a douche.
What about Yaz? Is Yaz around?
Blinded by... Yes. Revved up like a douche. Yes. Well, I was blinded by the light. It's very fortunate to be revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Louis? Blinded by the light, yes, you fucking jerk. Revved up like a douche. Another runner in the night. Blinded by the light. She got down, Joe. She got down, but she never got tight. That ship has already sailed. Like a douche. Give me a vinegar and water, Joe.